if anybody would like to remind everybody what we just discussed, that would be great. I dare not repeat
something?
it.
Wait, we
coughing ASMR?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's awful.
I don't like it. Grow with you.
I'm just kind of floored that you thought you might.
I think it'd be like
It could be this
weird
way.
as it is.
Oh no, the first one is like one of those whatchamacallits. What are those? Those people make the sexy little cartoon things about themselves and I hate it. What are those?
The VTubers.
Yes, thank you. It's just a VTuber coughing. Nope. Not even clicking on it. Fuck that.
That's the one I clicked on. Ugh. It really isn't as much as you'd think.
Man, I only said that because I've been coughing all throughout today. Not often, but often enough.
Often enough, indeed.
Did take medicine. Might consider making me some soup soon.
It is too hot.
Motherfucker. I hate this.
Well, stop watching it!
I'm listening to it!
I had to find a different one to make sure it was weird.
Oh, Jesus
Like that
Christ.
rule of trying everything twice, you know?
Only twice?
I thought it was 3 strikes and you're out.
No, two's good for me.
Anyway, let's go
Didn't
ahead
like it the first
and
time.
get this
Didn't like
under
it the second.
control.
Okay.
I'm glad that everybody got their giggles out. Who am I kidding? We're back once more with some Ravenloft, some return to Ravenloft, a return to Ravenloft.
How many returns in this return?
That varies person to person.
My first time, I don't know.
Most
I
of
don't
you
know
are
about
losing
that.
your Ravenloft virginity tonight, and that should terrify most of you.
And that
Anyway,
I don't
we're gonna go around and
understand when to
introduce
appropriately
ourselves.
be scared.
That's good. That helps when you're an adventurer.
Yes.
I'll introduce myself first. I am DM Stray. I am your DM tonight and for the foreseeable future because nobody else dares to DM, for it is a sacred art whereupon everyone hates you if you fuck it up. So, no pressure there.
Yeah.
No pressure, no pressure, no pressure.
No pressure indeed. Unless you've become like me, whereupon I'm completely apathetic to your wants and needs and desires, and I'm just here to have a good time and laugh at you. Some of you more than others. Speaking of, why don't we go ahead and introduce ourselves tonight? We'll start with you, Orion,
How'd I know?
because I go in
I
alphabetical
know.
order every week.
I know. Hello. Name's Shauna, or Tiff. However you want to call her. I play Oriane. She is a Sylph Magus. And, 2 out of 4 are undead in this party. One way or another. Pretty sure I'm not one.
Mostly dead.
Why don't you go ahead and tell us about why you're in Ravenloft today?
Well,
What series of unfortunate life events led you to coming to Ravenloft?
originally, crusade against, well, exactly that, undead.
Sort of a Doom
I'm-
Guy
I'm-
energy of wading into the enemy nest, huh?
I'm also aware of the irony at that phrase.
Okay, we'll go to you next, Lucia, if you would. Introduce yourself and your character real quick for us.
Okay, I'm Jess. I play Lucia. She is a human fighter, and if I remember correctly,
Ollie.
we are at a circus.
Jesus.
We are indeed at a circus. And
We
you
are-
just showed up, Dirge.
It had to be that way.
You do.
And what brings you to here?
Ravenloft.
To Ravenloft. This table tonight. Anything, really.
Well,
Let's get to know each other.
it's a little complicated now, but originally the plan was joining the Knights of the Raven in the fight against undead. But things have taken a little turn for the weird side when you find out you're undead yourself.
Dun dun dun.
Speaking
dun,
of
dun.
undead yourself, Moira, why don't you introduce yourself?
I'm Zilly, and I play Moira. She has recently discovered that the weirdness that's followed her most of her life is probably just attributed to the fact that she's a Dhampir. So she's on Lucia's side, personally. And she was a nun who left her convent and is on her way to Ravenloft because the snake told her so.
Your little snake named Boros.
Boros told her so.
I see. The one that likes you and nobody else.
He does not like other people, it's true. He'll bite the fuck out of you. Should probably just not make eye contact with him.
Same. We'll go to you, finishing up Sebastian.
Nick. I play Sebastian. He's a human champion. He is in Ravenloft to find the Knights of the Raven because his old group abandoned him and left him to die. He doesn't trust people much. And then his new group did the same thing, so we're kind of on the rocks right now. But I met a friend, so...
Friends make the whole world better. We'll see if that holds up in Ravenloft. You're also joined by one lovely Lancelot, the doggo.
Duckle.
A good boy.
One
He's a good boy.
goodest boy attempting to try his best right now.
The dog ever dies, we riot.
Yep.
All over.
Oh, is that all it will take? No.
I mean,
Oh, yeah.
we
What do you
already,
mean is that all it would take?
we already fucked the house. What do you want from us?
I'm gonna jot that down real quick if I ever want to stop DMing Ravenloft. Kill
I will flip the
the
table.
dog.
It's like, listen, you live with me and there are neighbors.
I will flip the table.
That just means you gotta smother him, Tiff.
There
You
will
got-
be
can't,
a
don't do a loud method.
Don't
No
tempt me with a good
bludgeoning
time.
as much as you might want to once he kills Lancelot.
Can I be smothered in a certain way? Can I?
No. Not if you kill Lancelot.
That's upsetting. Speaking of killing Lancelot, who wants to tell us what happened last time? For one hero point.
Well, I think Sebastian has the least
I'm
amount of
capped
hero
for one.
points.
I can't do it.
I don't even know how many hero points I have.
1 when I checked.
I don't remember a lot, but I know I landed a cartwheel.
Well,
We figured out Sebastian can cartwheel in full armor.
That's a mildly impressive start. Tell us more, Sebastian.
I'm trying to jog my brain.
Okay.
I can
You
give you a
started the
hint.
session at.
I know like the second half of. I can never remember the first half of what we did.
First half, you and me went into the woods and found a farmhouse
Okay.
to stay in for the night.
Oh yeah. Yeah, and we took turns doing watch duty, and I went out there, and something yelled. Or when I was out there, like something yelled, and I walked at it, and it was played. And hide and seek with me behind this rock. So I took my torch and I threw it behind the rock so I could see what it was, and it sprinted out of there.
I don't believe it just sprinted. It also screeched.
It did, yeah. Before I could even get back to the house, it was in between me and the rest of the party. So I shoved it and threw alchemist fire at it, and it screeched and ran away.
Whereupon you were met with several more of those same screechy metallic voices coming from the woods.
To which I eventually went back inside with everyone and said no when we were asked if we were safe.
And I decided not to sleep by the front door anymore.
And nobody had dinner that night. Afterwards, you set up on the road, and what else?
We ended up seeing this little carnival from the road. And upon getting up to it, these group of men who were partying were like, came over and were like, yo, show me something cool. Or they were like, no, dude, like, take a drink. And I told them that I don't drink. And then they instantly got disinterested. So I did a cartwheel in full armor and landed it perfectly.
I believe that was a nat 22.
Yeah, it was the most beautiful cartwheel anyone's ever seen in their life. And those men did not care.
Rip.
I will also point out that among those, Ismark, your Knight of the Raven acolyte that is traveling with you, was the one that suggested you stop by this Vistani camp with which to purchase a wagon to make your journey to Valeki safer, as you guys have now experienced what it is like to be on foot at night in Ravenloft.
Oh, it's awful.
Yep.
Arriving in the Vistani camp, you realize that there is some sort of traveling performers or circus. Winding your way through the roads, it seems like the festivities are in full order, and it is there that you meet one very charming tiefling who introduces themselves as Dirge.
A friend.
Don't
A
worry,
friendly face.
Ariane totally didn't make BL in the background when you two were dancing.
A friendly face in the trying times, and thankfully, semblances of life and cheer in this gloomy, muddy, rundown country, as you are hauling two children that were nearly hung just yesterday, whose parents were cultists. With that in mind, we go now.
Those darn kids.
Those darn silly kids. With that in mind, we will go now back to the Vistani camp. Where our intrepid heroes find ourselves loading in to once more.
Yeah.
The festivities are in full swing, and everyone is getting day drunk at 10 a.m. Small caravans circled around the crest of this hill, this clearing from the middle of this horrible forest. You know these as the Vistani. Those of you with any background to Ravenloft would know that these are essentially gypsies. These are traveling people with a lively and long-standing tradition. Perhaps you might learn more, should you wish. But overall, they seem to welcome you with open arms, warm drink, and a roaring, raucous laughter. They are a loud and boisterous people, and as Dirge throws his arms around Lucia and Moira, he begins to saunter away. Well, it's mighty good to see you. It's mighty good to have new faces in camp. And I look forward to getting to know some of you better than others. In return, I'll give you some tickets. You gonna attend my performance tonight?
Certainly.
That sounds fun.
I'm in.
Of course.
Of course you're in. Nobody would pass up a chance to party with old Ravencroft here. I'm sort of a local legend, if I might say so myself.
Looking forward to see what you got.
He gives you a small wry wink with that. Oh, darling, I've got more than you can handle. Right, well. Get you some food, get you some drink, show you around. What can I do for you? It's about this moment that Ismark begins to kind of muscle his way through the group, finally. Pardon me, we're actually in need of a wagon. I was hoping to buy a wagon off of you and make my way to Valleki. Valleki? Well, what do you want with those people? You got all the fun you need right here. I hope to escort these children. Ismark gestures for the kids to come forward, but they do not. He sighs and turns back. We hope to get them to Valleki, where possibly a relative of theirs might keep them safe, and from there we're on our way to Ravenhold. Dirge seems quietly to think, scratching his chin in an overly dramatic fashion, tilting his head to the side, thinking very hard as he listens. Well, so be it. We've got wagons to plenty, but good luck convincing anyone to part with theirs. I do wish you the best of luck with that, but can't help you much there. I'm only a traveling performer, though I am just the cutest thing. I'll put in a good word for you, maybe, if you can convince a few of them around here that you're down to party with us.
I'll certainly try.
That's
Easy.
what I like to hear. A good spirited attempt, eh? Sometimes the only thing that matters is to try.
It is definitely lively here.
Yes, I much prefer it here than in the midst of Barovia or Ravenloft or Valleki or... well, it might be a little bit more dangerous out in our camp, you know. We don't have the safety of our walls, but my god, I feel more alive here than I do in those places.
You know, I actually agree.
He clicks his fingers, points to Orion, and gives a big beaming smile. So, what's your, Knight of the Raven? He scratches his nose. Yes, Acolyte, but, it's a pleasure to meet you. My name is Ismark. Perhaps we should introduce ourselves again. I'm afraid that we might have missed some of our names. I'm Ismark. This is Rosalind, and that is Thorfinn. They are part of the Vallekis. Oh, nice to meet you. My name is Dirge Ravencroft, he says, shoving his hand in Ismark's face. Ismark takes a step back, caught off guard before giving him a polite smile and shaking it back. After a tense few moments, he turns to you more, as you are directly in front of him. Show you around? That's what I like to hear. He holds his arm out for you to loop it through.
She hesitantly takes his arm, kind of glancing at the others.
All right, if you'll just follow me. The rest of you, and he kind of waves the rest of you off. Hey, there's food and drink to be abound. Honestly, at this point, I think most of them are too drunk to stop you, even if they wanted to, so take whatever you want. That's the way we do things.
I look towards Moira to be sure that she'll be okay.
It's at this point, he's just dragging you behind him at this point, Moira, if you are holding his arm.
Yes, she'll hold his arm and kind of scuttle to try and keep up with him.
Alright. Moira is led away from the rest of your group. What are the rest of you doing?
I'm going to find this food.
Same.
Okay. The rest of you follow your noses?
Yep.
Okay.
I will hesitantly follow because I'm still kind of looking towards where Moira's being escorted to.
Okay. Moira is being led some 10, 20 feet away at this point as Dirge begins to give her the rundown. There is the smell of food to your south. It is away from where Moira is.
I'm going to the food.
No, that's fair.
I will as well.
Ismark glances between where Moira and Dirge are walking away, and as you leave, Sebastian, should we? Okay, the children are going with her.
I'll follow. Only to keep the kids safe.
Okay. No, I mean, well, I mean, I am quite hungry. Perhaps, perhaps I might, grab the children some food.
Could you, save me a plate on your way there?
Yes, I shall try.
Thank you.
He hustles away. Elsewhere, Dirge is leading Moira away. Lucy, you're following?
Yeah.
Okay. The rest of you hustle away to find some food as Orion begins tailing Dirge and Moira. Right, well, these are the Funars. Leads you to a large wagon painted in dark pinks and bright yellows. These are the Funars. They're a lovely sort. It's a mother and a father and a small little girl. They make jewelry for us and sell it. Perhaps you might support their business on the side. And he kind of cups a mouth over his hand and whispers to you under his breath. Absolute rubbish, all of it. All of it's absolutely rubbish. But it is cute. But it is a complete ripoff. But I do recommend you buy some. And he's hustling to the next spot at this point. The children are giggling and keeping up. It's about this time that the children begin to meander away. Moira, give me a perception check.
I try to grab hold of the children's hands.
Oh, they're still
Keep
some
them
10
together.
or 20 feet away from you. Moira, you unfortunately do not notice the children as you are being led around. Orion, you watch as the children duck into the small tent.
Where are you going? Back here.
Duck into the small tent as well, Moira, where there is a sort of a modest circus tent inside. There is a large dog with tawny and tan fur. But the most striking thing is that the animal has piercing nimbus blue eyes to it. The man in the center of the ring is kind of navigating two of them with a whip. He's kind of directing them and giving them orders, seemingly rehearsing this show that they're practicing.
I am going to just cautiously be between the children and this.
Okay. Elsewhere, Moira, you are being dragged around to the next one. These are the facilities. He drags you to a bright orange wagon with blue doors that are open wide.
What's that?
The facilities. It's their family name.
Oh. And what are they known for?
Well, Gregory here has never been married, even at 40 years old. He's a pretty good-looking fella, if you ask me, but, well, he's got all them tattoos and such, but he's constantly tells people he's gonna wait to get married to a woman who can cook as good as a mother, but if you ask me, I think he just fears commitment. Anyway.
I'm going to nod along with this, as if I'm understanding, though I'm not.
Okay. You pass by a rather strapping 40-year-old man, covered in tattoos, sort of patting an elderly woman's head as she boils some stew in a pot in this modest, bright orange, blue door wagon. The man is probably twice her height. He also looks like he could pick up Sebastian and Lucia with one hand each. You must, Mother, you must be careful. You will burn yourself like last time. And you hustle past. Right, and this is home to the most decadent, lavish lifestyle in the entire camp. Even I am left aghast at the sort of debauchery and things that happen in this caravan.
I'm gonna look at it, kind of frowning.
Truly.
What sort of things happen?
Well, there's the partying, the singing, the dancing, the intimate relationships, the tale-telling, the story spinning, wild weaving. I hesitate to even tell you of the truth of this caravan.
The truth?
Yes, the truth. He throws his arm over his eyes dramatically, throwing his head back. Oh, my heart weeps for the poor bastards.
What's wrong with them?
He strides up to the door and inserts his key, opening the door himself. It's my caravan.
I'm gonna kind of blink at him a few times,
Would you like to come in?
walking up to it. Sure.
Okay. This is a bright sky blue with a shimmering golden roof caravan where the door swings open easily.
Beautiful.
The wagon's wheels are these bright yellow sunflower-esque wheels.
Well, that's pretty.
An elaborate, ornate chair sits with a single beaten-up platinum wine
Hey,
glass
I've seen
out
that kind of
front.
chair before. My friend Steffi's mom had one like it.
Very well then, madam. At your own risk of having a good time, you may step inside if you wish. You follow Dirge into his wagon, and the first thing you notice is that the wagon is decorated with hundreds of children's drawings, notably mostly of what you can assume to be a children's depiction of Dirge drawn in poor crayon, with a big beaming smile being notable in almost every single one of these pictures, all of them depicting an elaborate scenery of these heroic deeds that he has done. Except this one, which he rips down off the wall very quickly, but you realize it was him surrounded with a bunch of smaller women with a bunch of hearts coming off of them. He crumples that one up and throws it to the side quickly.
I'm going to continue looking around, smiling hesitantly. Do you have child church?
I do not. But you might say the entire country's children are my children. I do love children. They are our future, and frankly, they're an easy audience if I have to admit anything.
Oh, me too, me too. And at that, I'm gonna kind of glance around and realize that the children and Ariane are missing. Do you have any idea where the children went?
Said children? Like these? And he sweeps his hand across the children's
No, the
trunk.
children that were following us.
Those, your children. Are they your children? You seem young.
They're-
Anyway,
Uh,
he hustles back outside of the wagon.
I'm gonna also scramble out after him.
Okay. Meanwhile, the rest of you have now arrived in the southward wagon, where there is a large pot brewing over an even larger campfire, decorated with some chopped firewood to run the place.
I like the teal one in the background. That's mine.
Same.
That one is nice.
It do have a nice color scheme.
My favorite colors.
There's a man in a vibrant, multicolored, highly saturated headband, sitting, brooding over this campfire, tending it as if it is his very lifeline, munching on an apple. He cracks into it loudly, slurping up the juices. Ismark is the first to approach. Hello. The man glances up at him and returns to stirring the pot. He turns to the rest of you. I'm out of ideas. Usually that gets their attention.
I'm just gonna throw my hands up,
I'm gonna shrug my shoulders at him.
like real fast to get his attention.
The man makes no effort to acknowledge you.
About all I got.
Oh dear. We are an uncharismatic lot. Now, perhaps we can regroup and discuss a plan with which to part him with his dinner. In a noble way, mind. We, hospitality and such. Not that we would steal from him. Not that we couldn't steal from him, mind. I believe that we could steal from him, if it came to that.
So you're suggesting we steal from him?
No, I'm saying that we could, not that we should. There's a small but important difference there.
We're not gonna steal from him.
Exactly, it's open
come on.
hospitality. We just need some way to get his attention.
I'm going to... Excuse me, sir. I'm going to try to flag him to get his attention.
He grunts, never tearing his eyes away from the pot.
Sir, this man wants to steal from you.
What? Well, I most certainly do not, sir. The man at the pot shrugs. Everything is shared. Nothing belongs to anyone. Take what you wish. You can't hold on to anything in this world. He lets out a heavy, hefty sigh.
There, I got his attention.
I should hit you for that. How dare
Wouldn't be
you
the
accuse
first
me
time.
of being a thief? You guys were the one wanting to be thieves, and I turned you down. If anything, you're the thief.
I'd like to like nudge Eastmark and be like, it was just a joke.
I do not find
We're
his jokes
joking.
funny. He is not a funny man.
You'll warm up to him.
I
You wanted his attention, and I got
most
it.
certainly will not warm up to him.
Well, I'd like to like walk up to the pot.
Okay.
I imagine there's like those little bowls and
Oh, yeah.
spoons sitting there. I'd like to
There's
grab
just
one
a
and
pile of bowls and spoons. None of them clean.
it'll be okay. Just like fill the bowl.
Okay. He allows you to scoop some stew from it. It's quite a hearty stew. A lot more meat than you might suspect, considering they're just giving it away for free.
And I'd like to separate some of it into another bowl for Lancelot.
Okay, you do so. Lancelot eagerly slurping it up the second you offer it to him. With a sigh, Ismark brushes past you, Sebastian, and does the same for himself.
All right.
You know, that one there reminds me of my wife. I miss her. Ismark awkwardly takes his bowl and... Should we say something? Do we have to listen?
You have to listen. Ask him.
You ask him.
What happened to your
This
wife?
man is very interested in hearing about your wife, sir. I think we all are. Why don't you tell us about your... She cheated on me. Oh. Ismark scurries away.
I'll be like,
I'm gonna just shake my head.
as
Look at
Eastmark's walking
Lucia.
away, I'll be like, you said you were gonna get Ariane food.
Notably, he does have 2 bowls.
Okay, good.
I'm gonna go take care of that. You guys... He's disappeared.
I'd like to walk up to the guy and ask if he has any more interesting stories.
My wife left me.
Oh.
We truly own nothing in this world.
Oh.
Everything can be taken from us. Even our loved ones. He bites into the apple again, leaving a wet, slurping noise.
Mm.
You know, I was used to be the prince.
That.
Now look at me.
That's-
I'm too old. Who would want somebody this old? The man is 35 years old.
Felt.
I'd like to give him a little like pat on the shoulder. There's somebody out there for everybody.
No, there was only one. And I loved her. And she left me. For a younger man.
You know what you gotta do is just find you an older woman.
I do not think that is how healthy relationships are formed, sir. But perhaps I am too old to find a healthy relationship at 35. Perhaps I will find me a nice 18-year-old woman.
You may.
Yeah.
Look at Sebastian like, should we leave?
Just gonna. Thanks for the food, man.
Yeah, thank you.
Yes, it is a recipe that my wife gave me, and then he just fades away as you walk away. Elsewhere, inside of the tent, Orion, the ringleader is snapping a whip and ordering these dogs to dart around. The children are fascinated before you brush past them. Aw, move! Come on, I want to see the dogs, says Thorfinn. Thornbolt, you know you can't go near wild animals like that.
We can see them when the circus actually starts.
The circus is started. They're listening to the music. They're giving away all sorts of stuff. And Dirge went away, and
That's not the circus, that's the festival.
what's the difference?
The circus
Yeah,
is a
actually,
show.
what is the difference? Says Rose. So wait, a circus is a show, but what is a festival not a show? Well, now what's the difference between a fair and a festival?
Pretty sure Oriane does not have the society training to deal with this one.
Okay. Well then, is a fair like a festival but like smaller? Well then what denotes the size? They begin to bicker about what the difference is between a fair, festival, circus, and performance art.
Alright, I got them distracted. I'm gonna be escorting them outside.
Wait, no, I want to see the dogs.
Later.
No, they're right there now. Let me go pet them. We have a dog.
No, absolutely not. What if
Okay.
they bite?
They won't bite.
Moira will kill me if something happens to you both.
No, Moira's
Now,
nice.
Now, please, out so that we can look for Moira.
Speaking of, it's about that time that Dirge is leading you back to the tent, Moira. If I had to place my money down, not that I would or ever have, I'm not a gambling man, but if I had to bet, I'd say they were probably in the tent checking it out. That is where most of the children sneak off to, anyway.
As I'm following, I'm darting back and forth frantically looking for them, calling their names.
Could I possibly hear her calling?
Eventually, yes, it's quite... It's
See
not good.
there, see there she is. She is looking for you both.
Man. Come on, Thorn.
As he suggests the tent, I will go ahead and run towards the entrance.
Okay, as you blast past him, he cups a hand over his mouth. Yes. Thorfinn? Children? A few of the kids around the camp cast a glance at him, and he sort of raises an eyebrow at them, gives a small little wave. Not you, children. The other children, the new children. Have you seen the new children? And he wanders away to interrogate them. Where you step into a tent, and oh god, there's like wild animals loose in here, with whips
Pretty
and
sure she sees me right behind the children, like with her hands on their backs, trying to scooch them out.
Yes, they are trying to be scooched out by Orion.
As soon as I see them, I will go ahead and run up and kneel down and embrace the kids.
There you are.
Thank goodness, you're okay.
Yeah, I tried to stay with them. They separated from you at some point, so...
We just wanted to see the dogs. No, you wanted to see the dog. I said that we should stick close to Moira.
Next time, just let me know, okay? Do I know what these animals are?
Give me a... Off the top of my head, I want to see a nature check. Yes, give me Arcana or Nature.
If I knew that Arcana could apply, I would have tried.
Okay.
I'm gonna use a hero point.
Okay. Notably, that is an untrained Arcana check.
Oh yeah, it is, isn't it?
I'm gonna do an Arcana check, if that's alright with you.
Sure.
I don't have nature or arcana trained.
Eh.
You do not know what these are, Orion. They are long-eared canines that seem to have like almost like billy goat beards with tawny coats. They have piercing blue eyes, though.
Only to satisfy curiosity's sake, I call out to the ringleader and ask them what they are.
The man holding the whip and giving the instructions to the dog-like creatures before you. I'm a little busy right now. Can't you? They're blink dogs. The dogs, the blinks.
Thank you. That's all I wanted to know.
Okay, please. You're not supposed to be in here. It's not. You're not
I know.
open yet.
I'm trying
Is
to
that
escort the
children? You
kids
brought
out.
children in here.
No, they came in. I'm trying to escort them out.
Well, please do.
I'm trying.
Okay. You each emerge from the tent now. Right into Dirge's face. Ah, there you are. Ah, yeah, there they are. Good job, Moira. Yes, canny. Uncanny how well that you are with the children. And Orion.
Hello there.
You're even better than I thought, Moira. He gives you a small pat on the head.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. And you, very good job roping in your brother. He gives a small pat to Rosalind on the head. She puts up a fuss. And you, he says, now realizing that Sebastian, Lucia, and Ismark have returned. Noticing the bowl of food in Ismark's hand, he scoops up both bowls. Thank you for the meals.
One of those is mine.
One of what? He's already passed one to Moira and has begun to slurp down one himself.
I will hand mine over to Arion.
Thank you. You don't have to.
I worked very hard for those, says Ismark.
It's true.
You worked very hard to get the free meals?
I don't know, you tried to steal them, Eastmark.
Do you wanna
He tried to steal them?
share, Moira?
What?
Sure.
My good man, you are more
Children.
talented. You have more respect from me by the hour. You tried to steal free food. I did no such thing. Stop accusing me of being a thief.
I'm going to find a place to sit with Moira so that we could share this bowl of stew.
The kids begin to fawn over the bowl of stew in your hand, Moira, before you pass it to Orion. Moira, can we get food?
Of course we can. I'm gonna... Once I hand the bowl over to Ariane, I'll kind of shuffle towards Sebastian. Where did you get the food from?
It's down south. There's a big stew pot with a very talkative man down there.
Alright, children, I'll go get you some
say
stew.
Down south, the children hustle southward.
Oh, Jesus Christ, save this prince. I'm going to follow Moira and the children.
Orion hustles after the children with the bowl of stew splashing around in her hands as you dart off. Dirge is body blocking Ismark from following you all, giving you a small wink, Orion.
I see.
The rest of you dart off to the south.
Yeah.
Lancelot
Sure.
gives a happy bark, chasing after the children.
I'll follow Lancelot.
Very well. In time, you all meander over to a very sober, somber-looking man. My wife made that recipe. I'm glad that you liked it enough to get seconds. I wish she would give me seconds.
Oh.
Like I said, he's very talkative.
Hello, sir. I was wondering if we might trouble you for a few more bowls of the stew. I can pay if need be.
No, it's no charge. It's what I do. It's help others out and free of charge. It's
Wow, thank you. That's extremely kind of you.
Yes.
I'll
But
go
where
ahead
does
and
kindness
gather
got
up
me?
some bowls.
Cold and alone in this world. Unlike the stew that I serve to others.
Oh,
Perhaps chasing something that I may never possess myself.
I am going to be taking some bites out of my stew very
I will.
slowly.
It's quite
I
good.
will
The stew
hand
has...
the children each a bowl of stew before taking one myself.
They cheer loudly, interrupting the man's melancholy. Yay! They flop down right in the dirt and begin to just eat their stew. Thorfinn flops down. Rosalind attempts to find someplace clean to sit and tucks her skirt underneath her, very prim and proper and ladylike, before also sitting down in the dirt. She scolds her brother a little bit.
Moira will sit near them and also eat.
Okay. You each devour the stew. A captive audience as the man goes on to describe how his wife cheated on him with a younger man, and that with the kindness of strangers he's thinking about dating a woman much younger than him.
See.
Perhaps if she
Very.
How much younger?
I do not know. Perhaps as young as they will take me.
I'm gonna
We all
scoot a
drink
little
that.
closer to Rosalind.
Just gonna slowly back away. Just very slowly.
The rest of the conversation is mostly him letting out heavy, hefty sighs before the children finish their meals. And Moira, can we go play?
I'm gonna look at the others. Because I'm not sure what we're supposed to be doing.
What time were we supposed to see the show?
Just tonight. You sit and eat for about 30 minutes with no sign of Easemark or Dirge left.
I'm going to just look around for any sign of what concept of time I can see.
Sun, nowhere to be found.
So it's evening already?
It's a gray,
Very-
overcast day. As it mostly is in Greyhawk. The perpetual snowfall blotting out most of the sun's rays.
Well,
Yes, I suppose you could play until it's time for the show. Unless anybody else had something else we were supposed to do.
Yeah.
There's
Suddenly,
no
a
harm in
piercing
letting them
voice
play.
breaks through the crowd. New face in the camp!
eh?
A few of the people hustle around, and
It's coming from where?
it was just a voice you heard nearby. Somebody shouted, new voice, or new face in the camp.
Okay.
I try to locate where it came from and whether or not they're pointing at us.
They're not pointing to you, but you do immediately see a new woman that you have never seen before. A tall woman in plate with two large black wolves that tower over Lancelot. Begins to meander her way through the camp.
I'm going to try to identify those if I can.
I'd like to step up by the children. Almost like
Okay.
Those look fun.
Go ahead and give me a nature check or arcana.
I can do Arcana, I can't do Nature. Wow, same roll as earlier. The exact same roll.
Unfortunately, you do not know what these creatures are. This
I shrug.
tall, dark-skinned woman in the plate mill, bearing a crest of thorns and weaves, with a large rose petal with the thorns kind of weaved around it in a sort of Celtic knot, strides forward before meeting your gazes.
She totally looking our way.
She locks eyes with the children, and the children shiver as if on instinct and hustle behind you, Moira. You must be
Can I
them.
help? Can I help you, lady?
I'm also going to get in between Lady and the children.
She looks between each of you silently for a little bit.
Can we help you?
Where is my... She sizes you up, Sebastian, and sizes you up, Lucia. Sizing you up as well, Orion. Get the feeling she's analyzing you. My lord sent me here to make sure that you arrived safely. She bows stiffly.
Lord.
Yes. My master.
Who is your master?
Aldrich.
Oh.
He wanted to make sure you arrived safely at your destination. The roads can be treacherous, and he did offer you some semblance of assistance.
Right.
He also told me to pass the message along that he's heartbroken that he could not assist you further.
Or we couldn't say our goodbyes either.
Yes, truly a shame.
He was a very kind man.
I noticed that he has the doll. She points to where Thorfinn clutches Mr. Fuzzykins.
The doll.
Was she also an acquaintance of Aldrich?
Yes.
Okay. Alright.
My lord cares greatly for the children. You get the feeling she does not. I assume you met our Lady Anastasia. He had us dig in the dirt in the dark for that doll. Not the finest uses of my talent, but it seems like my lord wished to leave a good impression on you.
Many thanks.
For the first time, her eyes soften a little bit, and the faintest edges of a smirk greets her mouth. Vilgefortz. Carmilla Vilgefortz, it's an honor to make your acquaintance.
What? When was that
Pleasure to
Carmilla?
meet you.
I'm gonna put my hand up to high five her.
I am going to curtsy in her direction.
She gives you a stiff bow.
Smile and introduce myself and the children.
She carries a large battle axe on her hip. The battle axe has a contorted, screaming skull on its face. Well, it's a pleasure to meet you all. My lord has an interest in your safety and continued health, so I imagine that we will be meeting quite often. Once again, I am Carmilla Vilgefortz. I am my lord's right-hand woman. I maintain his estate while he is gone. I maintain his interests. And in matters where a sterner hand is required, I am she that guides his blade.
Well,
It was nice to meet you.
your help will be most appreciated throughout the journey.
Yes. You'll forgive me if I keep my distance. My dogs tend to bite fingers that attempt to feed them, I suppose.
Fair enough. If I may ask, what are they? I don't recognize them.
They're wargs.
Oh.
They look like good dogs.
They're big.
They are quite big. They are much larger than the children. It looks like they could swallow the children whole.
Oh boy.
Do these things eat?
Whatever I feed them.
How tall are we talking?
Oh, these dogs are maybe about 4.5 feet tall.
About as tall as me, okay. You're saying I could ride this?
Very closely, yes. These things are massive. Much like Carmilla, they are clad in this thick black fur that kind of obscures their shape. They are more muscular towards the front, as if they were once a humanoid thing that had strong arms.
Where exactly did you find these?
I'm going to.
They're native to
Kill.
these woods. Why,
How
should
do
I
you
show
tame
you where
them?
they are? As she says that, the two dogs let out a low guttural laugh.
Sebastian, what'd you do?
I don't know. I don't know yet.
It is now Lancelot is now cowering behind you as well, Lucia.
Like to pat him on the head, kind of reassure him that things are okay.
Have you any interest in wargs, knight?
Maybe.
You should be careful. They say curiosity killed the cat.
Good thing those are dogs.
I.
Such a shame. I was hoping you might be a little bit more fun.
I thought
My
you
lord
had more
said
of a
that
sense
you
of
would.
humor.
My lord said that you were interested in becoming knights of the Raven.
Those two are. I'm just along for the ride.
Does that interest you?
Bleh.
Are you asking
like
if you interest me, little man?
Oh. Oh
No.
my.
No.
Damn.
If my intentions interest you.
Oh.
Am I interested in what you might accomplish, your intentions, your goals, your thoughts, your dreams?
Wanting to be a knight
No,
of the Raven.
little man, you do not.
Hey, you brought it up.
Kind of like to step forward a little bit. And she mentions the Knights of the Raven. Like, I was also interested in becoming Knight of the Raven, if you have information.
Yes, we might have use of you, she says, never tearing her eyes away from Sebastian. Sebastian, she takes another step closer to you, and it's about that time that you are suddenly pulled backwards by an unseen force. And it is about that time
Ouch.
Sebastian is pulled backwards as Dirge steps in between of you. Ah, my friends, I see you've met the Lady Carmilla. Horrible sense of humor, really. Only as good as, well, matched by her sense of smell. Not her dog smell, her actual odor. Carmilla, what brings you down here? Such a lovely
I
guest.
agree.
Don't make her angry, she says, kind of cupping his hand over his mouth, whispering loudly to you, Sebastian. She's very good with that axe, I've seen her. The last man who pissed her off and tried to get in her pants, well, we couldn't find his pants. Not because, the point is, she bisected him at the waist, and very strong arm. She threw the pants with him still in it. It's a sodomy joke, is what I'm getting at. Does everyone? And he throws his hands up between the two groups. Does everyone understand?
Yeah.
I must work on my joke telling. You'll forgive me, Carmilla. We didn't know you weren't. We didn't know you were in the camp today. What brings you here? I was not given word. Otherwise, we would have rolled out the red carpet. And well, frankly, at this point, the red carpet's very long. It's very large. I don't like to unfurl it when it's not needed, because then I've got to roll it back up. And frankly, the last time you took away the people that used to roll up the red carpet. So, well. Frankly, I'm saying it's your fault.
Seeing Dirge, I'm just going to look around and see where the hell did Ishgar one? Like, where he went.
Ismark is nowhere to be seen at this point.
Man's gone.
As usual.
It's like last I saw him, he was with Dirge, so.
Okay. Carmilla, taken aback by the rapid-fire flurry of words, steps back as if reeling from a mental shock. She blinks once or twice, her calm demeanor broken before casting her gaze back to you, Sebastian. Enjoy the festivities.
You too?
Wait.
Yeah?
Nah, that was it.
Oh, okay.
Like, I was waiting for you.
Because she obviously ain't waiting.
A low, guttural voice emanates from one of the wargs. What are we eating? As Carmilla excuses herself, disappearing into the crowd.
You said she was sent here why? Or she came here why?
To make sure you guys made it
Alric.
safe.
She was sent by who though?
Alric.
Aldrich?
Alric. Oh, okay.
Once she
Yeah.
disappears, Dirge lets out a heavy sigh before turning and slapping you across the face, Sebastian. My god, man, do you piss everybody off the second you open your mouth? Don't answer that. I'm afraid of what might happen should you do that.
No.
Another slap. Very well, I'm glad that you met our esteemed guest. That was Carmilla. I'm frankly flattered that you guys are such prestigious guests. It kind of changes how I view you. Is there anything that I should know about you guys?
Well,
Good talk. I love that. I love when I ask, is there any secrets I should know about, and the entire group clams up all at once.
Listen,
No
we're
secrets.
out in the public. What do you want from us?
What I want from you is the fact that you might, possibly know the vampire lord of this country, and are his guests. Apparently, I might have treated you slightly differently. Some of you.
Differently how?
He clears his throat. He also slaps Sebastian one more time.
I'm gonna duck this time.
Okay.
Sure.
Give me a
Lord.
reflex save.
I'm gonna learn.
Oh, that's not nearly enough, bud. No. Sebastian goes to ducks, Dirge stops, lets him come back up from ducking, and then continues the slap.
Why do you continue to slap me?
Why do I slap? Because I can, and because you might deserve it. I'm just getting them out of the way, you'll thank me. Then when you do something stupid in the future, I won't have to slap you then. I'm cashing them out now. He throws an arm around you, Sebastian. Let me tell you about, the economics of bartering and loaning money. So at some
No.
point, you will... That's a good answer, but you don't get to say no. At some point, you will fuck
No.
up. At
No,
that
I
point,
won't.
I will have to hit you, but because I've hit you now, that means I won't in the future. Does that make sense?
So now you've given me a free pass to fuck up.
Well,
Oriana's
yes,
trying not
that's
to
what the
die
slaps are
on
for.
the side.
You see the
I
mistake
just
you've made.
roll my eyes. Sebastian.
He raises a finger to the group. I would like to point out that he did not state that he will not be fucking up, or will try not to fuck up. At this point, he says that he will look forward to fucking up, and that says more about him than it does me.
Yeah.
What
know.
a fuck up, says Rosalind.
It's the adult way of saying messed up. Don't repeat it.
What?
Over your ears, children.
I'm gonna shoot Dirge a look.
Dirge shoots you back a look.
Not in front of the children.
Not in front of the children. What not in front of the children?
Language.
The language?
What about the violence?
Curse in front of the children.
Curse in front of the children. I
No, don't curse in front of the children.
don't curse in
About the
front of the
violence?
children. Didn't you say
Slap me.
these?
I
You
mean,
know what? We'll discuss that at some other point. I apologize. I will try not to say that Sebastian is a fuck up in front of the children.
thank you.
They let out a yay!
Don't encourage that!
Dirge sighs. Your friend is remarkably dull, by the way.
Which one?
The blonde-haired one, not this one. The other blonde-haired one.
Speaking of which, where did he go?
Oh, I put him in the tent.
Oh.
What does that mean?
He's in the tent with the ringleader and the trainers.
But you put him in there?
I didn't physically put him in there. I led him in there with my wit and charm, and also the fact that he's ever so willing to do basically anything to help.
Yeah, he's a pushover.
Right.
My god, man, every word from your mouth really does just piss everyone off around you. That is an insanely useful talent. Do you perhaps possess the superior ability to be punched in the face?
Yes.
I
Well, at
mean,
least
It
he's good at
hasn't
what he
stopped
does.
me.
I've already smacked him a few times myself. Don't worry.
Oh, this is
Nothing phases
tradition.
him.
It does not stop
At
me.
this point, we'll need to find
From
some
telling
other
the
way
truth.
to teach him. Anyway, leave that to me. I'll worry about that later. For now, let's perhaps we should get you folks inside, somewhere out of the cold. My caravan.
Sure.
Oh, very well.
Full sprint right behind him.
Okay. He hustles through the crowd with the lot of you in tow.
I escort the children from behind.
Well, the children are not in need of escorting. They're in love with this man.
I
Dirge leads you into the small caravan where he sits. It's not very big. It might be maybe about a 15 by 10 foot caravan that can be hitched to a horse and wagon and led away. It is a rather cozy place. Hundreds of children's drawings decorate the wall, and a stack of flyers for his own performance decorates it. Come see the high-flying, highfalutin, daring, elegant, graceful, and many other descriptive words describing a fancy man. Before culminating in, come see the funeral singer himself, Dirge Ravencroft, depicting a large picture of Dirge dramatically posing, one hand on his chest, the other hand outstretched in a singing operatic motion. He brushes the papers to the floor as he clears a spot at the table for all of you. The caravan is now incredibly messy, papers strewn everywhere. Have a seat. I only have the one, so have at it.
I'll stand.
You stand.
I'll lean against a table, I guess, if there is one.
I'll find a spot on the floor to sit, lean against the wall.
Okay. It is so crowded that Lancelot just kind of sits outside.
Oh no.
He's just sitting, one paw raised on the steps, trying to sneak past the children.
I like pat him, come try and like sit on my lap or something.
Okay. He muscles past.
Sure.
Ooh, there we go. Could not target the dog for some reason.
Mm.
Do you
Out
guys
of
know
curiosity,
Aldrich?
where is Boros?
Just wrapped around Moira's arm.
I just noticed I didn't see him, so.
Yeah, this is a very large party. I'm not gonna track every single token. So, you guys know our resident Lord Aldrich?
Mm-hmm.
That's wonderful. He's an incredibly powerful ally and patron of the arts, for which we are very thankful for. Can't trust the guy as far as I could throw him.
Mm.
I'd like to ask how he knows Aldrich.
Well, pretty much everyone knows about Aldrich around these parts. He is by far one of the foremost advocates, and when it comes to these sorts of negotiations between the undead and the Knights of the Raven, he's pretty much the forefront runner. He wants us all to get along and live in harmony and peace.
That actually is a nice goal.
It would be, wouldn't it? I don't think that is his goal.
I said would.
What do you think his goal is?
You know, that's the scary part. I'm not sure what his goal is. And I'm quite cunning and clever, and many other nice things about my brain, if I may say so myself. Talented, sophisticated, elegant, refined. A natural poet.
Uh-huh.
An artisan, if you would.
Uh-huh. Anything else about yourself we should know
Yes,
about?
but we should probably move on. We only have
Thank
so
you.
much time in the day.
Oriane was waiting for the list to drop.
We'll get the list some other time. It has to unfurl. It's the thing with the red carpet all over again. I don't have the people that roll things up for me anymore.
You have a list guy?
I do have a list guy. Do you not have a list guy? When you get as famous as I, you have a list guy. Shame. Anyway, Aldrich's... Well, I'm not sure what he wants, but all I know is that when it comes time for talks with the Knights of the Raven and undead rights and many other wonderful things, he's at the forefront leading the charges with his brides. You've just met Carmilla, that's one of them. You may have met others. He rarely ever travels without Valentia in tow.
Mm-hmm.
There's also Anastasia. But my point being, he sort of, well, he's what you call a true vampire. He's not like a lot of vampire spawn around here. He's a true vampire. He's not of a line. He's the head of the table, if you would.
Mm-hmm.
I see.
Yes.
You know, I high-fived him.
That's... Okay. And did you get, like, a funny feeling when you high-fived him, or...?
Felt good. Felt right.
We had dinner.
Okay.
He flipped a table.
Oh,
We were all there for it.
yes, he does have an anger issue from what I know of. When things don't go his way, he does tend to get quite upset. The fact that you were Aldrich's guest kind of surprises me.
Well, saved my life from dying on the road.
Oh. Don't take this the wrong way, but I can't help but wonder why.
That's another story in general. I'm going to look at the group and in an unspoken question on whether we should tell.
I'm just gonna shake my head no.
I'll kind of just pull the children closer to me. Absently.
I'll also shake my head no when I notice Sebastian do that.
Unfortunately, we seem to be in agreement of not telling that story in particular.
Okay.
Sorry.
That's fine. We all have our secrets. You have yours, I have mine. We have just met after all. He thinks for a moment to himself. Well, perhaps it would be best to talk about this some other day when we get to know each other a little bit better. Ismark informs me that you are looking for a wagon I have a wagon. And as luck would have it, I'm on my way to Valeki for my next performance. We could all travel together.
What do y'all think?
I'm open to
Kind
it.
of you to offer.
I'll just take this corner then.
Fine with me if it's fine with everyone else.
It's much better than being in the cold.
Yes, and much better than traveling by foot. Well, then please allow me to be your guide once more. Just as I led you around the tent, perhaps I can liven up your lives on this trip to Valeki. Though we will have to pass
appreciate
by
it.
the old bone grinder. That'll be an
If I-
issue.
What?
The bone grinder?
Yes.
What's a bone grinder?
It
Oh, have you not
sounds
heard?
exactly what it sounds.
Uh,
Or at least,
the
I
bone
know
grinder
what
is an old windmill.
Oh, that doesn't sound so bad.
Well, it's not. It's
but if no one else will say it, I will at least be the first to say you already have brightened her journey upon coming here.
That's lovely. I like that. I like to hear that. My whole journey in life has been to spread the joy and love and warmth that I have been shown by the Vistani people.
It's a lovely goal. Yeah, everyone else went quiet.
And what about you? Where are you all from?
I'm from not too terribly far from here. A convent up in the mountains.
Ah. These mountains nearby, or are they?
Would they be those same ones as the ones nearby?
That's up to you, honey. Did you wander down from the cold, frozen mountains nearby, or did you come from out of country?
I imagine that she was fairly close to where she originated from, when she met the group. So how far are we from there?
From here? That would be a good question. I can double check that very quickly, but for now, yeah,
I'll
you
just
could say you're from nearby.
Okay. Yes, nearby.
It's lovely to meet a local. Not too many locals around these parts, other than the locals. What I mean to say is not too many people come to Greyhawk of their own volition.
I never actually decided where I'm actually from. Jeez. All I remember was picking that he went on a crusade and just happened to have found Sebastian and Lucia. And just decided to join them.
From us. Seems pretty.
Oh, hi! Hello!
It's been wandering around in the background for a while now.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he's been here most of the session.
Well, welcome back, Como.
Just lurking. Menacingly.
I don't know about menacing, but I myself am actually from a small little town you might know up the Warlock Peninsula. Little town known as Roth. Up near Stalis.
Oh.
Kind of meandered my way up here.
If I were to roll a recall knowledge check of sorts, like, what would that be?
Society.
Never mind then. I am untrained.
Trained
I
in
was
society.
afraid of the answer.
Oh dang, I'm super trained in success society.
Somebody should, because it's not me.
I mean, it's like
I'll give it
on
a go.
map, you probably know where it is by default, but
Rolling not hot tonight.
Roth is a small city on the Warlock Peninsula, a decent chunk south of here, in between the Athasian Desert and the Astalis woodland. It is known as the City of Freaks,
Oh,
Love that.
where any demi-human or hybrid race might find some respite. Everything from Skaven all the way up to Cyclops and Ogres. Roth is sort of a unique country in so much as the fact that they don't typically involve themselves with anyone else, and everyone else doesn't involve themselves with them. Sort of a live and let live attitude to politics. They are a collection of city-states, collectively known as Roth. The country of freaks. Well, I meandered my way
Sounds-
up here after some horrible tragedy beset me on my path in life, and, well, here I am. The Vistani took me in, I fell in love with their ways, and, well, now I'm famous.
that we can see.
What an exciting turn of events.
And things went so well for you. After whatever may have happened.
Oh, it's a great tale of tragedy and woe, that I dare not ruin the atmosphere and mood tonight. Tonight is a night of festivities.
Speaking of past tragedies, Moira, shifty eyes. Carry on.
Yeah. Yeah.
Dirge finally rises from his seat, tapping on the table. Well, I'm going to make sure Ismark didn't get devoured by the wolves. Help yourselves to anything in my cabin.
What world would you ask him to do?
Well, he's looking to be a Knight of the Raven. I thought he could handle a couple of wolves.
Wolves?
Dogs, really, but I like to call them wolves. Makes it very much more dramatic that way. Wild animals, wolves, or mongrels, mutts, dogs, canines, lupines.
The, blink
Makes a
dogs from
snapping mouth motion with his two hands together towards the children. They giggle.
Pretty sure we almost all giggled.
Well, we appreciate your hospitality.
I'm terribly sorry that I've made the conversation awkward and tense.
Not
Okay.
at all.
I mean, it was fair to want to know. And
Just
he's gone.
keep an eye out, will you? I don't trust Aldrich as far as I can throw him. Call it an old entertainer's hunch.
Alright.
He taps the horns on his head. Evil can smell evil. How about that?
Oh,
Oh,
that's... I don't...
words still
I
live by.
see. You still live by.
something
like
something about the devil you know is better than the devil you don't.
That's a good saying.
It is a good saying. That's why I say it.
He'll be back in one moment.
Not sure I could call you evil. At all.
Well, perhaps we should get to know each other a little bit better, but that aside, I wouldn't call me evil either, but rarely do men call themselves evil because, in their eyes, most of their acts are justified, and really evil just boils down to things that you can and cannot justify to yourself in the world. Like this. He hops down the stairs. I'm going to see if I was justified in helping Ismark train those dogs, and if he's been mauled, well then I was horribly unjustified, and I'll make sure to cry over his grave.
Please don't kill our compatriot.
I did not harm your compatriot, it would be the dogs. I merely endangered your compatriot. There is a difference. One of these can be held accountable by law, the other cannot. You see, it's the degrees of separation that really bring us together in life, ironically.
I'm just
This is
gonna.
Anyway, I'm going
messed
to
up.
go ahead
I'm
and
gonna
just
start following you at this
the more
point.
we talk about this, the more I realize we should be.
Let me out. Let me out. I'm getting errors. I can't leave. Let me out.
We're stuck.
Held hostage.
Probably because you're inside of a building.
I guess I'll also leave.
Oh, I was hoping Dirt's just locked the door.
Like, just locked us in.
You may step inside if you wish, but as soon as you step inside, you note Ismark is sitting with these two large dogs, kind of panting in his lap. He's petting them quietly.
Oh.
Oh, hello.
New friends?
No,
It's
they're dogs.
You
it,
you can be okay.
I mean, yes, I suppose you could. Well, but friends carry some connotation of a relationship.
I mean, you have them literally at your feet.
I do. They're quite well
back.
trained animals. Welcome back. They're incredibly well behaved. Of course they're well behaved. They're circus performers, Ismark. You were never in any danger. I was in danger? No, I just said you weren't in any danger.
Oh. Glad to see you're okay.
Why is everyone worried? Was I in danger?
Nope.
Where about it?
I don't. Okay. Evening sets at long last, and you each find yourselves gathered around the tent where the performance is about to start. Where would everyone like to sit?
I'll try to sit towards the front row with the kids so that they can see well.
Okay.
I'll sit
I'll
over here
sit-
towards the back.
I'll sit next to Moira.
Okay. The kids sit in your lap happily. Thorfinn is bouncing up and down far more insistently than his sister. Have you bought the children any snacks or any trinkets, any baubles in the meantime being peddled by these Vistani?
I will buy them whatever their little hearts desire.
Will you now? That's a bold claim.
Rip wallet.
I will allow you
I
to
don't know
spend...
what are they asking for?
Oh, everything. As soon as you give
um,
them one thing, they're asking for literally everything.
I'll give them I'll buy them each a little bauble and some snacks.
Okay. Markarth 2 gold, as these things are ridiculously overpriced, and I will remove your devil's bargain.
Yay.
As this little spark of hope from these children have removed that evil in your heart.
Sweet.
Elsewhere.
Alright, my mouth is full of donuts.
That's fine. We'll say that's in character.
Now making me want to grab snacks.
Elsewhere. The circus begins quite nicely as pops and sizzles of these alchemical concoctions explode into the air, filling the circus with delightful noises and lights, sizzling and hissing, recreating the imagery of great and terrible beasts of legend before the ringmaster takes the stage, introducing himself as the Vistani ringleader, Gregorio. Gregorio takes a moment, there's loud applause, before finally the show begins. The first act, many circus performers come barreling out of a barrel. 1, and then 2, and then 3, and then 4, and then 5, and then 6, and 7, and 8, and 9, and 10. More and more people pile out of this small, nondescript barrel. The children giggle as the 11th man pretends to be caught. There's some fuss among the group as they all scratch their head about how they should get him out. Before finally one man pulls out a large sword and vivisects the barrel in half. The man in the barrel looking horrified. The children gasp in alarm as they then reach inside of the barrel, pull the 11th man's legs out as he now waddles around with a barrel around his torso.
Oh.
There's some loud applause as they waddle off stage. Let's give it up for the 12 incarnations of Tortellini. You know, every year they add another man to that performance, but I always wonder about that man who gets stuck. How do they decide who gets stuck in the barrel this year? Oh well, all part of the act, I suppose. Next up, let's give it up for our wonderful guard dogs of the caravan. The large dogs with the tawny coats and the long billy goat beards come out onto the stage with gruff snarling and snapping. They follow the direction of the man with the whip, chasing the whip around. He begins to whirl it faster and faster and faster, and you each watch as these dogs sort of chase this whip around in a circle, growing faster and faster, before suddenly, all at once, there is a flash of lightning, and both animals vanish before your eyes.
Whoa.
I'm going to be in awe, utter awe.
Alright. The man begins to whirl the whip around in a circle, at which point there's a momentary flash as one of the dogs reappears mid-jump before disappearing and reappearing on the other side of the whip.
Gasp. Clap.
Finally. And now for the grand finale. He drops the whip. Raising his hands, he casts a spell in the air. There's a flurry of what you can only describe as glitter everywhere as the dogs now light up, illuminated by these pixie dust. Their forms still invisible, but you can now see them clearly outlined by this pixie dust. And one by one, you watch as more and more and more of those dogs form. These invisible dogs all around you, even sitting among you in the crowd, all begin to dart and pant and run down this arena before coalescing into a small group. With a snap of the fingers, the man with the whip, all 20 of the dogs now reforming, each dog giving a small bow alongside the man before they each hustle away. There's a raucous round of applause as everybody claps.
Moira
Give it
will
up for the
stand
Blink
as she
Dogs.
claps.
our wonderful
I
dogs
will-
that guard
I
our
will
caravan.
Also applaud. That
Finally,
was
of
pretty good.
course, the main event tonight. Our very own Monsieur Ravencroft. Where is he? Dirge rises from the crowd. Sorry, I was getting to know our crowd tonight. As he rises from the stage, a few men step out with instruments, violins and cellos and guitars, gathering around Dirge. Ladies and gentlemen, tonight I am feeling particularly inspired, for I have run into the devil himself tonight.
Oh.
A terrible darkness threatens our land once more, just like the days of yore. Mothers wail and gnash their teeth, and children cry as parents are stolen from them. The children shift awkwardly in the seat, Moira.
Moira will hug them tighter.
Terrible creatures prowl our streets at night. And in the woods you dare not trek alone, lest you be swept away by the green hag. A hush falls over the crowd. Luckily, our prestigious Knights of the Raven, such as our dear Eastmark, are here. He begins before a spotlight drops on Eastmark. The crowd gives a roar.
Oh.
He is not having a good time of it. He shrinks down in his seat, pretending that he's not here.
Lucia, push him.
Just push him down so people can see him back into the light.
A
It's
few
little nudge.
giggles. Ah, just like the sign of a true hero. What a modest man. Let's give it up for our dear Knights of the Raven as they protect us from the horrible nightkin and night creatures that have long plagued our land, as the curse of the devil himself, Strahd, persists. Finally breaking the silence, a man, clearly too drunk for his own good, yells from the crowd, "What are you gonna sing?" Another laugh erupting from the crowd. Very well, enough talk of horrible times of darkness where children and parents and dogs and cats wail and whimper and whine, and oh God, the Lord of Darkness kicked a dog once, I think.
Oh. How dare he?
How dare he indeed. Perhaps I might rouse your spirits once more with a beautiful melody of my own accord. A laugh from the crowd, some inside joke you may not know. The crowd grows silent as Dirge raises his hands in order to silence the crowd and ask for silence. Before
Moira leans forward eagerly.
finally planting one hand dramatically on his chest, he rises to the small, modest wooden stage in the middle of the fairground and begins to sing a haunting, beautiful melody. And I will need a will save from everybody.
Yikes.
Usual jovial man singing Words that none of you can understand, but are driving everyone but Moira to tears. Sebastian, you get the worst of it, however, as something in this performance tugs at you. It's the most beautiful thing you've ever felt. The saddest thing you've ever felt.
My heart. My emotions.
Just imagining him sniveling.
It's so good.
Just the
It
the
is,
biggest ugly cry.
despite your best attempts.
Snot flowing. Ugh. So we get that man a tissue.
Absolutely sobbing.
The children are also sobbing right alongside Sebastian.
Oh, I'm going to dab their tears away with my...
In fact,
Habit.
everyone in the crowd seems to be sobbing except you, Moira. It's kind of an eerie feeling.
Looks around awkwardly. Keeps dabbing children's tears away.
The usual jovial trickster, however, has a beautiful singing voice that is full of pain and suffering. Singing in a language that none of you know before his performance finally wraps up. And with a dramatic flourish, he bows to the ground. The crowd erupting into screaming and cheering, wailing applause. Before he gives a jovial wave and darts off to the crowd, taking a seat beside you, Moira.
Moira will ask the children if they're okay.
They sniffle and use your habit. Rosalind, uncharacteristically blowing snot into your habit. It's about that time that Dirge sits beside of you. Hello, and there's a loud honk of a nose blowing. Oh. Well, I'm glad that you kids enjoyed the show. May I? He says, reaching for the habit, plucking it from Rosalind's hands before using prestidigitation to clean it up, and passing it back to you now fully clean, Moira.
Thank you. That was quite some performance.
Thank you.
It was very beautiful.
It was so good.
He's still reeling with emotions over there.
I will award you a hero point for that, Nick. Yeah, you are still heartbroken, Sebastian. Lucia, Orion, you are beginning to kind of compose yourselves. Sebastian, it's bad. It's bad. It was good. It's bad.
I just can't get a hold of myself.
I'm going to try to pat him comfortably. Just try to comfort him a little.
Quite all right. It makes me glad to see that I can have that effect on you people with my music. It's an artist's dream come true.
Does this happen often at your performances?
No, only typically with children.
I'm gonna kind of peer at the children, peer over at Sebastian.
Well, I'm gonna look up real
Makes
fast
sense.
with a completely straight face. Oh.
It's quite
I
all
see.
right. We all need a good cry every now and then. No, it's not good to bottle it up.
moving.
Totally not drying the tear streaks that were on my cheek.
Well, it's a little ditty I composed myself, but I am glad you liked it. Very well. I'm quite hungry now. What about the rest of you?
Always.
Food
After
is
all,
always good.
after all that crying, yes, food would be nice.
Very
A
well.
look at the children.
They nod along, sniffling.
Yes, I think we could do with a bite to eat.
Well, then it's my treat once again. Shall we grab some food, and then perhaps we can turn in for the night, and we'll be off tomorrow, and we'll, no charge. We'll use my wagon. We'll all be on our way to Valeki.
Sounds great.
Sounds fantastic.
Alright, well, perhaps we might have some fun with the Taroka deck tonight, shall we? Night is still young, after all, he says, nudging Moira.
Yes, that sounds good. I'm not sure I've heard of one of those before, have I? Do I know what that is?
Give me an Arcana or Occult check. Or Society.
Oh, ooh, that I can do. Kind of, I guess.
A Taroka deck is a unique deck of cards, much like a tarot deck, mostly used around these parts of the country to sort of communicate with spirits and check the future. It's a tarot card reading, he's suggesting.
Well, something I've never done before, but I'm open.
That would be interesting.
That will be fun. We always have such fun with the Taroka deck. You know, they say it has never failed to make a true prediction.
Oh, that's good.
Which does raise some
Right.
concerns about the meaning of free will, but, you know, perhaps everything that we do is preordained and predestined. Which does raise some strange questions about divinity and existence, but we'll get into that perhaps when the children are older and then the nihilism won't set in quite as bad.
Probably for the best.
Very well. Dirge stands and unfurls the tent flap, no one daring to stop the star of the show before holding the door or the flap open for the rest of you. Very well, everyone out. We'll grab the dinner first thing before the line starts, shall we?
I'm gonna sprint out the door.
Okay.
Just totally not gonna knock me and Moira temporarily.
I'm just gonna jump over you.
Oh. I'm just gonna duck then.
Oh, okay. Yes.
I'll lead the children out.
Alright.
Alright. After Sebastian jumps over us, I eventually go out. But I wait on Moira before going further.
The rest of you each file out one by one before making your way southward to grab another hearty bowl of stew. Dirge interjecting on your behalf to quickly... Yes, the wife, and yes, you'll have to tell me some other time. Again. Yes, again. Before eventually managing to abscond quickly with a bowl of soup for each of you. Making his way to his cabin where he kicks the door, watching it swing open, arms still full of bowls of soup. He passes one to each of you as you step inside.
Thank you.
No problem.
Yummy, yummy, yummy.
I can't. I'm not allowed in.
Yeah, it's fine. We're mostly going to stop here for the night, though.
Like, the caravan does not like me.
That's because it's a wall, honey.
Aw.
the way you guys went in there the first time was the GM powers that I possess. Regardless, I want to wrap it up pretty soon here, and we're just going to but where is move to the overview of the scene. Whereupon it is now at about 8 o'clock at night as you each shuffle inside the cramped small wagon that is Dirge's wagon that's sitting in this clearing. Any last thoughts, any last actions before we wrap it up for the night?
Aside
this
from
time.
eating my food, just finding a comfortable spot to sleep in.
Alright, well, we've met another lovely character tonight. One Carmilla Vilgefortz.
Hey.
Alright. Any last thoughts, any last actions? Special shout outs to Sebastian, who I think got 2 hero points tonight.
Yeah.
One from recalling the tale from last time and pretty ugly crying.
I will also congratulate you. You are all now level 3.
Yay! Level 3.
Sebastian, you're picking a shield ally.
Yes.
Alright.
As I pull up my app. I don't remember what all I grabbed.
That's fine. You may plug it in yourself tonight if you wish to. Otherwise, I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up.
Level 3, what did I have?
Chat has...
What will I need to do for level 3? I'll figure it out later. It's fine.
You say that, and yet, Zilly.
What do I need for level 3?
Well, you have level 2
General
spells
feat.
now.
And spells.
And a general feat, yes.
There's
General.
Alright. Well, say goodnight, everybody.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Good
Good night.